Hello everybody, welcome to another True Review. Today I'm bringing you Organic Panic on the Xbox One. It releases on the 1st of April, so should be out by the time this review goes live. What we have is a puzzle platformer, much in the graphical style of the old kind of Worms games. You play as a selection of fruit and vegetables. You play as a coconut, a kiwi, a cherry and a carrot who are being oppressed by the evil meat and cheese army. And you have an adventure mode, which is the main single player experience, where you simply have to get to the exit of the level using each of the characters' abilities. Some levels you only play as one character, other levels you interchange by a simple button press to access all the other characters' abilities. The other modes available in the game is a co-op mode, which can be 2-player, 3-player or 4-player on certain worlds, and there is also a versus mode as well, but I'll get to those in a moment. But going back to the single player experience, the game introduces you to the puzzles pretty straightforward. It introduces you to each of the characters and their abilities, and the tutorials are really simple to follow, and you get a gist of what each character has to offer and what each character can do. And simply what you have got to do is get to the exit of each level by usually avoiding the enemies and destroying some of the environment in order that you can progress to the exit zone. In order to get the gold star on each level though, which is what you want to do if you want to go for achievements or trophies in this game, because it is out on the PS4 as well, is you need to score and amass a certain amount of points per level. This is usually done by collecting the majority of the power-ups, killing the enemies on the level, and collecting the hidden gem or diamond on the level as well. That's easier said than done sometimes, because the level has to be usually done in a certain kind of way. And that's one of the kind of problems I did encounter. The game seems to want you to do things in a certain fashion to progress through the level, but a lot of the times I felt like I actually arrived at the exit and actually figured the puzzle out simply by accident and causing that much damage and chaos on the level. I somehow looked out on the physics, which is a little bit strange in places. It's like when you cut through a rock face and it teeters and falls, it doesn't fall how you'd expect it to fall, so it's kind of like not real world physics, if you get what I mean. Luckily, if you mess up a level and block yourself off from the exit, you can quickly restart a level by a simple press of the back button. So that's one good feature, because I always say with these kind of games you need to be able to reset the level with no loading at all very, very quickly, otherwise they soon get tired and annoying. Now each of the characters has their own ability. The cherry, for example, can fire a stream of bullets, kind of, and the bullets take on the effect of whatever surface they're standing on. So if it's standing on metal, you'll fire metal, standing on wood, you fire wood, etc. And each of these elements are strong against different kinds of terrain. The kiwi is water-based, they fire water and you have to manipulate platforms, drown enemies, etc. The coconut is a very slow character but has telekinesis, can pick up objects, pick up enemies and throw them around the level. And the carrot can climb and uses fireballs. So each character is very, very diverse, and it's probably this game's strongest point is the diversity in the characters, and they do gel with their abilities using them together. Now, single player mode has, I think, probably about half the amount of levels in the game. The game claims to have 200 levels in total, but I believe these are spread between the single player adventure and the co-op mode, and also the versus mode as well. So moving on to the second part of the game, which is co-op, you choose a world, and some worlds are catered for 2 players, 3 players and 4 players. Unfortunately, it is local play only, so you do require to have at least 2, 3 or 4 pads, and obviously the necessary people to do it. It's going to be one of those games where you can't actually play it yourself and manipulate all pads, because there's even some of the early levels I experienced in co-op mode, there is some co-op moves you have to actually undertake, and manipulating more than one pad at once is going to be pretty much impossible unless you're very, 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 very good and fast with handling multiple pads at once. So definitely wouldn't recommend it all, if indeed it is possible, to be honest with you. So a little bit of a disappointment that there's no online play, because it's a bugbear of mine that these kind of games should have online, because everybody leads busy lives nowadays. The cost of buying all the equipment, 4 pads for example, I mean, they're £50 a pad in the UK. Buying £50 pads, so that's £200 worth of equipment you need, plus you need the friends or family and people and time to actually get everybody together to play it. So it needs to be really online, really, in my opinion. So it's a big minus in that regards. But it's not the only game that does it. A lot of the games tend to be doing it nowadays. It's just simply local only. The versus mode is an absolute mess in my opinion. You basically choose your game mode. Some of them are just free for all, some of them you collect a amount of items. There's a various few other game modes as well, but they all suffer from the same problem. There's too much going on the screen. The power up icons just rain continuously from the top of the screen. It's very, very cluttered. You lose track of where you are most of the time, and it's just very, very difficult to follow exactly what you're doing on there. So the versus mode doesn't really bring anything to the table. Achievement wise, it's going to be a problematic list because you have to complete everything, which includes the single player and all the co-op modes. So you are going to need the 4 pads if you want to go for the achievements, and 4 people to do it. You also have to play 100 versus matches, which shouldn't be a problem. It's just going to take another lot of time to do, but again, you obviously need at least 2 pads to do that. And like I say, you need to complete everything in the game, or the adventure mode, the co-op levels, the versus mode you need to do. And you also have to get 100 gold stars as well. Now I'm not clear if they have to be all in a single player, or if they can be spread between single player and multiplayer, because the game does claim to have 200 levels, as I think I mentioned before, so that requires half of the levels to be gold starred at least. So the one thing with Organic Panic is when I found I was playing it, I didn't find I was having that much fun with it. The levels themselves weren't exactly that interesting, and the problem solving wasn't that intricate and interesting as well. I just didn't find myself getting hooked on the game. I've no details on pricing as of yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be reasonably priced at something like $7.99. I'll say anything above $7.99 for this is not really worth it at this stage. There's just not enough on offer unless you do have people available to you. You're just not going to be able to get all them people together to experience it, and you're really closing off half of your game or a portion of your game to your audience. So if the game's priced too high, because like I say, no pricing details as of yet, then you have to consider, are you going to be able to play the co-op aspect? If not, then you're only buying the single player aspects of it really, and that really doesn't offer that much fun, to be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with the game, I just couldn't put my finger on it. I just wasn't enjoying it, I wasn't having that much fun with it. But from a technical standpoint, there's nothing actually wrong with it. It's a very sound programmed game. It just wasn't pushing my buttons, unfortunately. So I'm going to give Organic Panic a 5 out of 10 and hope it is reasonably priced and it does sell for them. But if it's one of these games where if it's over £10, I would definitely say wait for a sale to come along before you actually play the game. So I hope you enjoyed that review. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and do follow me on my various social media pages. It does help me build the channel, and I will catch you on the next review.